Hi, this Islamic Dad here. I'm going to do a video on projection and also hand in hand with that a kind of 4-month check-in, just because I think that there would be some good examples with that would be applicable to the idea of projection. So to start off with projection, it's the psychological idea that when a person has certain issues within themselves that they are unable to acknowledge and feel disturbed by the idea of these attributes that apply to them, that as a coping mechanism, they will project them out into the world. My favorite example of that is the gay, homosexual hating Christian preacher who goes on and on about how homosexuals are evil, homosexuals are going to hell, and lo and behold, they get caught in an airport bathroom having anonymous sex with gay prostitutes for meth or something like that. And there's hundreds, if not thousands, of examples of specifically that. And so, it's one of these things where the more conservative and fundamental a Christian preacher is, as far as like how much he hates homosexuality and views it as an evil sin, the more you realize that he's just covering up for his own homosexual feelings. So to me, that's like the most prominent example in the real world that just basically everyone's familiar with and they've seen. So with respect to the narcissist, this can show up in a number of ways. One that I've heard very often people speak of is the narcissist accusing the target of cheating. I know that with myself and my narcissist ex-girlfriend, that the accusations never came that direct, but it was where she would present this air or this position of being very open, about friends of the opposite gender. She was one of those people where at least half, maybe more than 50% of her friends were male. And she would always make a big deal of it, like, oh, no big deal, no big deal, no big deal. But every time I had a female friend, which in the course of our 4-year relationship didn't happen that often, she would flip out. Like I've mentioned before, I DJ, so sometimes I would get like the groupie types that would kind of, follow me around. And she would just really freak out and overreact about it. Same thing if we went to a club and a woman, started, talking with me or chatting with me. She would get furious to the point where she would almost get in like a fist fight with these women. And I know that even when we broke up for a month or two, that when she saw that I was hanging around some other women, not even doing anything sexual, it's just more adventure type, ghost hunting. Again, she just flipped out about it. And so it was a huge contrast between her being adamant that she thinks it was perfectly okay for her to have male friends and that that's okay and that the same is true for me. But then when I would have female friends, she'd flip. And so, it's kind of an odd instance of projecting, but I think it says volumes. And so, never directly accused of cheating, but again, that's something that I have heard a lot. I personally think that, in my experience, the narcissists, both of the ones that I've experienced, love to say, oh, you're insecure, you're codependent, you're being paranoid, etc., when it wouldn't be applicable to the situation at all. And again, I think that what it is this weird projection where, on some level, they realize that they're the ones that are incredibly insecure. And also, though people may argue, and that's no surprise, but that they're the ones that are interestingly enough, kind of the codependent ones, because the narcissist cannot survive without a source of supply. And most of the time, that's going to be their partner, in the relationship. And this is also why if you, if you're the one who breaks up with a narcissist, watch out, because they are going to flip out. So, again, some other common examples of projection. So tying that into like kind of my 4-month check-in, one of the patterns that I've noticed with my ex, kind of, post or on the, I hope the tail end of the smear campaign. I mean, Jesus, it's been 4 months. Get a hobby. Is that she's moved from, to some extent, these direct attacks upon me to this kind of flipping the script where she will say that she's overcome a bad relationship with someone who, I think tried to steal her identity or smother her identity or something like that, and that she's like come through that, and because she's such a good person, she is not seeking revenge. She is actually using that energy to go out into the world and share love and be a better person, to be able to like have the energy to spread that love and goodness to whoever she comes across in her life and the world in general. I wish I was making this up, because it is so far from the truth. It is ludicrous. I mean, my jaw hit the floor when I heard about this, and I think I laughed, off and on for like the rest of the day. If anything, narcissists are not good people, especially, my ex-girlfriend. She really, she's not a malignant narcissist, but she doesn't really have a good bone in her body. I mean, if she does something good, it's for show. She makes sure that everybody sees it and that she gets, validation for like the little minor good deeds she might do once every 6 months. And so the idea that she would present herself as a good person going out into the world to share her kindness and her love, oh geez, and then to frame that as her coming out of a relationship with the bad person, or the controller, or someone who is trying to strip her of her identity, or something like that. And so And that's not the first time lately that I've heard that that's what she's done. Like, she's kind of pivoted her smear campaign, whereas before it was just simply, I don't know, I'm the devil, add your own details. Pivoted away from that to she's the good person, and she's not going to get down in the mud. Like, she's not going to seek revenge or do anything dirty because she's such a good person. I mean, sorry, I keep laughing. And this is after she brought her $400 an hour lawyer to fight what amounted to like a $250 charge. And then, still to this day has not acknowledged, taken ownership, responsibility, or apologized for what happened on New Year's Eve, nor paid me the $250 in question. So the fact that she can go through the world telling people that she's a good person, it's phenomenal. It's just it's kind of amazing. And again, the crazy thing that I can like swear, especially after if you've seen like the video I did like a couple days ago, I think she believes it. I don't think she's trying to manipulate people at that conscious level. I think she's doing that cuckoo crazy narcissist thing where she somehow has convinced herself that she's a good person and that the evil, vicious, violent, horrible things that she did were somehow justified. And yet she's still the good person. So, bringing it back to the projection, basically, flipping the script where she's obviously at some level aware of what she did and who she is, as a person who could do those things. And she's projected that onto me. And then the fact that I've kind of just gone off and done my own thing, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go DJ, and I'm going to, make music and perform live and, write books and stuff like that. Like, she's like taking that for herself when over the past 4 months, I don't think she's done a damn thing. So, again, it's just been really eye-opening, really bizarre. Nothing about this is anything that I expected. So, kind of, 4-month check-in. Oddly enough, I am not aware, from within the social circle, that she's found like a new source of supply, meaning like a, monogamous relationship, a boyfriend to, do the whole love bomb and blah, 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 cycle. And that kind of surprises me because it's been 4 months, which, if you know narcissists, that's a long time for a narcissist to go without their main, a single main source of supply. I mean, I think she's doing fine because, she obviously had plenty of minor sources, during the last year of the relationship. So it's not like she's, starving for supply by any means. It's just very, surprising to me. And it's been funny in our friend circle. I keep telling our mutual friends, I said, go find her a boyfriend. Like, I want her to focus on her new supply and stop focusing on, the smear campaign and stuff with me. It's like, find a hobby, take up, knitting or something like that. Just find something else to do, because it's been 4 months. So, that's kind of, what I wanted to say about projection. Is just, really a lot of the crap that comes out of the narcissist's mouth, especially weird crap that just doesn't make any sense, especially if it's pointed at you or pointed at a specific person. That is just 100% projection. They are incapable of acknowledging, these traits or things that they've done themselves, and they throw them out. I mean, and it's kind of interesting if you think about it, where they could just be quiet and just be like, okay, no one notices that, I'm a horrible person and I have no empathy and I'm very insecure. But instead of just being mum, they like point the finger at their partner and say, you're insecure, and you're out to get me, and I know that you're cheating, and blah blah blah. And it's just like, again, that's just strange to me. Normal people don't think that way. So, moving that aside, just 4-month check-in for me. Again, I'm just 100% honest. That's just my personality. It's rough. I'm still, 4 months out, I'm still in a place where I'm like, I miss her. I wonder if there's a way we could, at least be friends, or at least, catch up or something like that. And then, another part of me goes, no, like the way the relationship ended wasn't bad. It was bad. And, that I need to keep that in mind. And also just, why? The last year and a half was absolute garbage. And it's like, why would I want that? Like, I felt more alone in the relationship with her for the last year than I did when I'm literally single and alone. So again, it's like one of those things where I just go back to like what I've said before. It's not love, it's addiction. And that's all it comes down to. I am still jonesing for my hit. I miss being with her, even though logically I know that it was incredibly toxic and that I should never speak with her, or if possible be in the same room with her ever again, for my own safety, in multiple aspects. So that part is just, again, it's kind of a head scratcher. I think that it's just going to take time, and I don't know how long. Thankfully at this point, there's no hoovering. Like I've said, she really did the whole dead me thing, and did like the smear campaign. And so there's that aspect, but outside of like the smear campaign and kind of the weird projecting that she's doing, really no contact. If anything, it's very tangential, and it's just news getting back to me from mutual friends and kind of the social circle. So that said, I'm just still trucking along, still DJing, still making music, editing my second novel, getting out to the clubs and stuff when I feel up to it. Honestly, a lot of the time I've just enjoyed not doing any of that and just kind of being a hermit and working on my stuff and reading from my pile of books that ever continues to grow taller even though I work to read them. So yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at as far as like the 4-month check-in, and that's kind of like what I'm experiencing with a narcissist projection. Is that with my ex-girlfriend, it's really gone into this weird post, or tail end smear campaign where she's kind of flipped the script in describing herself and describing me, and it's just 100% projection. So hopefully this has been helpful.